What's good? You rocking with your boy TheCzarr, all rights reserved, CommenterNation, greatest nation since United Nations. Stand up. You already know what time it is. Let's get into it. Now, the first thing, this has to do with suspects. So, as we seen it, there were 3 suspects that were initially announced. One that was found within the system, already arrested for a prior incident, but claimed to be a part of it. Now, think critically, and it's something simple. One of them were already in the system, so he couldn't have been out riding around, right? One was found in Atlanta. One was found in New York. One happened to be one of the first ones. How did the one that was in Florida not arrested on another incident? Did he miss the memo? Because the other 2 were already way out of state, like somewhere else. Did he miss the memo? Why would he feel comfortable to sit around on that? Seeing the 4th one had no choice because he was arrested for something else. Why would he be sitting around waiting to get arrested if presumably the other guys were long gone? Why'd he do that? How did they move after the incident if you're alleging these 4 did it? How'd they move? Did they split up, go different ways? Did they meet up somewhere? Because according to the film we've been shown publicly, they were riding in the car together at one point. And you're saying, this is their words, you're saying that the video that had them riding together, they were all flashing the money they took from this alleged incident. So how does one end up in Atlanta, one end up in New York, the 3rd one just randomly gets arrested for something else? And what was the connection to bring him in on the murder? How would you know that? See, these are the features that are beginning to paint another picture. As if, let's say that you and I, here's my only example. Let's say that you and I, so you understand me a little bit clearer, made a plot that we were going to do something, okay? Now, when we do it, let's say that you may not have entirely known I had another guy in on it, but he shows up to the spot and they're like, whatever, let's do this. Something goes down a certain way. This guy knew it, but you didn't. How would you feel about a situation like that? And would that be probable looking at what we know? If this guy knows, look, I say we're going to make this hit, we're going to get this money. You know what I mean? And I'm talking to just the other guy. You and me, we going to take a ride out of state. We going to get out of here because we know after this it's high profile. But then I told the other dude, yep, when it happens, you know, we just gonna split up. I didn't go into detail telling him he should leave town. I didn't it's like an incomplete plan. So was the mastermind charge I made validated by thinking this way? And if you didn't see it, go see it. Investigators dealing Dedrick D. Williams, they're going to get him with mastermind charges. Go check that video out, because here's what's beginning to be understood. If I was going to put the pressure on someone, the squeeze on them, it would have been by somebody who, let's say, I knew would stand strong in it. But how did they even come up with capturing him? Was it just looking at the video where the 2 were at, and how would they figure out where the other suspects were if they skipped town, if they were at direct family member's house that wasn't the usual for their living circumstance after it happened, thinking to the fact that Dedrick may not have known that they had extended plans? How would they have figured that out? Now, to date, there's a few suspects that haven't even spoken on anything. When I say that, their lawyer hasn't stepped up and said anything public. They're just there kind of being silent, watching. And that's interesting, being what's being placed out there. Because if I'm to presume my innocence, I'm going to have to prove why I'm innocent. I'm caught on film there, so I'm linked to that situation. But in the same token, was I literally the sacrificial lamb for these mastermind charges? But it's backfired because I didn't lay down. Because I didn't lay down taking what I'm handed, did that give me the opportunity to fight back? Like, look, I don't know what's going on. I didn't get the full memo on anything. I don't know what these guys were up to. It really does shake the core of the investigation if you think of this dynamic. Because if suspects weren't on good terms together, it makes you wonder who else wasn't on good terms, including the victim and anyone else. Because if you look at how this unfolds, these four men are wrapped up together. But if you look at their demeanors, it doesn't seem like they're all in collusion with knowing what the other was going to do, nor what the other was doing or going to. It's almost like it was a telltale sign given on the backside that led to the arrest, and not really indicating to me that someone gave everyone up. Because you wouldn't know, and I presume even if they did say the initial places they were going, they maybe did not go there because of how hot the case started getting. Now remember, in a video a little while ago, I told you how an investigator will hunt you down. I gave you those scripts. I told you exactly how that works. And you can check those videos out. You got to watch the series, read the topics, and it will be exposed to you exactly where I go through the details on this. And of course, I did that from different research topics, knowledge, and just some experience related factors on exactly how they work. But now I'm starting to see a factor after watching that is new to even I realizing. And it dawned on me, because I meant to say this too, about the fact of who may have been left out of the master plan, but ended up getting tied up into the worst part of it. And they didn't expect it to go that way, because to their knowledge, the plan was not devised to occur that way. But because it went down that way, because they're there and in association with certain people, it's hard for them to shake it. That's the wrong place, wrong time mentality theory. There's people that'll call you up to do all sorts of dirt and hit you up like, oh, come over here. Then when they get locked up doing hard time, you get locked up with them and they try and downplay the situation. See, that's a lot of times what happens to people who screaming they're innocent or they didn't do anything. But you still follow someone around with your nose up their butt at times. But that's just my thing. It doesn't look like, in my opinion, Dedrick was a follower if we're going to presume he's guilty of this situation. It just seems like he's confused over the way the event unfolded, which causes me to believe that someone else had an ulterior motive, an ulterior plan, aside from what it was he would allegedly know if he is credibly, through evidence, presumed to be a suspect. There's something not right there. And his reaction, sort of the situations I've seen him end up in, just what he's doing court, the fact they gave a grant, something's not right. And I don't understand it. I'm not really getting it. Hopefully they can begin to show more public information to bring light to it. But these are the events going on while people are arguing over a DNA test. I got another topic I might address. I might check in on it, But I just thought that was interesting Was there a faulty plan given to someone they wanted to use to catch those mastermind charges without expecting the other men to be identified or caught? What are your thoughts on this? Do you think he was really the fall guy, as I said from the jump? Let me know in the comments below. You know how I rock. All rights reserved.